Let's pray. Father, we thank you for another day. Thank you for allowing us to be here and allowing us to live in Jackson County. Thank you for everything that you do for us. We thank you for our known blessings, and we thank you for all of our unknown blessings. Please be with us today. Lead, guide, and direct us in every decision that's made here today. In Christ's name, amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
On the order then?
I have no additions or deletions to the agenda, Mr. Westbrook.
Okay, look like we got plenty of addition.
Yes, sir, we got plenty to go through.
That's fine. You kick us off and we'll lift.
Okay, under section 2, public hearing, the first item, Mr. Westbrook, is extension of a development order, development agreement with the Oakdale Townhomes. It's typical practice to extend these for 24 months. We're asking for the board to approve the extension.
So move, Mr. Chairman.
Have a motion, have a second.
I've got to recuse myself from this.
Have a motion and a second. To approve, all in favor, raise your hand. All opposed, same sign.
Chairman, I've recused myself.
Thank you.
Yeah, we did not approve the agenda. Hello.
Okay, let's just approve it then.
Well, let me clarify. I didn't vote on that because I need to recuse myself. Our firm was hired by Shannon Maddox to do the plans on the townhome project.
Do I owe any penalty for not approving the agenda?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve the agenda.
Have a motion and a second, approve the agenda. All in favor, raise your hand. Likewise, the other way, let's ride, go to this. My apologies to the crowd. Be glad to have every one of y'all. Look like we got a good crowd. Just stay with us and we'll ride it out.
Ready for the second item under public hearing, Mr. Westbrook?
Yes.
Okay, the second item under the public hearing, Mr. Westbrook, is the request for board adoption of the ordinance as it relates to the 1 cent sales tax. And we're asking the commission to allow us to read the ordinance by title only and adopt the ordinance.
Any questions or any discussion?
It's a public hearing.
We are in a public hearing.
Chairman, I move that approval be given to read the title of the ordinance. That's what you're asking, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's my motion.
Okay.
Motion and a second. On the ordinance, on the 1 cent sales tax ordinance.
Let me read it by title only.
Yes, sir.
An ordinance of the Board of County Commissioners of Jackson County, Florida, passed by extraordinary vote repealing ordinance number 2009-5, which levied 1 cent discretionary local sales tax for a period of 15 years to be used for operating expenses in Jackson County Road and Bridge Department, and levying a 1 cent discretionary local sales tax. Said tax to be effective today's date, Ms. Jordan.
July 22nd, but the effective date of the ordinance will be January 1st, 2026.
To be used until repealed for any public purpose as authorized by section 212.055 parentheses 3 Florida statute, providing for conflicts, repeal or severability, and an effective date. Asking the commission to approve the ordinance and as read.
Maybe I have a question for the attorney very briefly. Will this affect us if we added to that later on prior to January 1, where we'd have to have a referendum to do it? I understand. Would that affect us if we did that?
If you change it in this calendar year,
Yes, ma'am.
no.
Any other question?
Do we need to ask for any public comment?
You should.
Well, I'm sure if most people in here, if they wanted comment, they would stand up and come forward. We'll welcome you to it, but I haven't seen any, I haven't seen anybody swinging yet.
Yeah, question.
No other question, go ahead.
I know we talked about here or using some of that money and not at all going to the road department like it's been being into that, what states in here.
I'm not familiar.
It does, it does not read, if this ordinance is passed, and Ms. Jordan can jump in if she wants to, and Mr. Rooks, if this ordinance is passed, then the, commission, the county has the ability to use this sales tax wherever it is needed in the budget for any operational purpose, which, based on the budget, we will be using some of this sales tax to fund road and bridge. But if you don't, if you limit it to the, road and bridge, then we can never use it to make, contributions to the operations of general fund, for lack of a better way to say it.
Well, my feeling is I hate to take it away from the road and bridge because I feel like they need it. So that seems like where most problem we have is with roads. And if you take it away from them, that's gonna limit them to be able to do what they need to do for the road. So really, in that respect there, I would be against that. I'd be for it all going to the road department like it has been.
Mr. Rook,
Under the current budget that we proposed to you guys yesterday, 100% of this sales tax money is going to road and bridge. So I just
Now.
throw that right now.
But if we approve this ordinance, that means that it could, some of it could be taken away from them and all wouldn't go to them. That's what it says.
That is what it says, but under the current budget, even starting in January 1st, we've used all this money in road and bridge. Now, next year and for future budgets, you guys would decide where it goes. But I'm just to kind of give you some comfort.
I understand.
Yeah,
I understand
and
that.
really, the way this thing's written and the changes that are made helped you guys this year. So, because it was written that it was all going to be used in road, and not really road and bridge, but road construction. So,
And going forward, we'll still have the capability to be able to use all of those funds for road and bridge. It'd be up to this board. So all of those funds generated by that 1 cent sales tax can continue to go entirely to road and bridge.
did we not beat this back and forth pretty good about last meeting or meeting before?
Crutchfield's coming from, but I'll go ahead and offer a motion to approve the ordinance, approving the 1 cent sales tax, giving us flexibility to use those dollars wherever this commission or future commissions see fit.
I got a motion and I have a second.
you never voted on that, the first one that Dr. Spires did.
Which was to allow, ask, Mr. Dean to read the, ordinance by title.
Yeah.
Okay, and we read the other part of it by title only, okay? Was that, so did that, you want to vote on that? That's fine. I'll entertain a motion to that effect, Dr. Spires.
He already.
Yeah, I did already.
And a second, so we just need to vote on it or discuss it, whatever y'all want to do.
Okay,
And Mr. Dean has already read it.
right, yes, sir.
So I just need to vote on it, yes.
All right, all in favor of the, the ordinance by title, what we read, right hand. All opposed, same sign, move on. Now we'll go,
So I've got a motion.
we do,
Approve the ordinance, authorizing the continued or the use of the 1 cent sales tax, giving us as a county commission or future county commissioners some flexibility to use those dollars, however that commission may see fit.
I hear a second.
Exactly.
Do we have a second?
I'll see.
Have a motion and a second to approve the dollars as stated.
Question, Mr. Chairman.
Yes,
Okay. Mr. Brooks, I want just some clarification. As it is right now, those funds can be used in any area as it is right now, or is it limited to just road and bridge?
No, the way the new ordinance are written, and the attorney can correct me if I'm wrong, it can be used wherever the board sees fit,
Mm-hmm.
Except debt service.
except for debt service.
Right.
Okay. So at this juncture, is it part of the budget for the year right now?
Yeah, for the
Road and Bridge?
For the budget that we're currently in, of course it is, and it'll go that way till January or December 31st. That it could only be used as the old ordinance stated.
Okay.
The new ordinance says you can use it anywhere, but when we built the budget, we used 100% of the sales tax money in Road and Bridge. Now, next year, you guys will get another budget, and I hope that there's some discretion. I hope you have extra money, but the way it looks like to me, in years going forward, it will all have to be used in Road and Bridge.
And if I could add to what Mr. Rook said, you know, this tax is not the only tax that funds Road and Bridge. I mean, there's probably 7, maybe 8 different taxes that we collect that can only be used for Road and Bridge and the construction, road construction.
Is this the kind of tax where the state takes a portion of those taxes and then send the county? I know.
I'm not sure. They get a percentage. The Department of Revenue gets a percentage for collecting it for you guys. I don't know if maybe we know what that percentage is, 5%. Marie, do you know what the percentage Department of Revenue uses for their administration of it?
Of the one
But
sales
it's
tax.
the money's the extra 1% that's collected here. Most of it, probably 95% of it, comes back to us.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
if Road and Bridge were to have a deficit in their budget, it would have to come from some other department to make up for it.
Yeah.
If those dollars have been.
Historically, it's been coming from general fund, from the ad valorem taxes. But, this frees you up that you can take, if gas tax really starts pouring in and you have a ton of gas tax, so you have a surplus. I don't see that happening, but if you do, then you could move this sales tax to other areas that may need it. That's what this ordinance to me does now.
Yeah, so
Go ahead.
the statutory purpose of this particular sales tax, this is called the small county surtax, and it is meant, the statutory language is to fund the operating expenses of the county. So when.
In general.
Yes, in
Okay,
general, when
okay.
the legislature authorized this tax for small counties, that was the intention of the legislature. I believe you were on the board when the board initially put this kind of internal restriction on the use of the funds. I was kind of hoping that you might recall what prompted that discussion or that limitation. And another concern that I have with this particular tax is this is a tax that we also split with the municipalities. And when we put a limitation on the use of that tax, that may also apply to the municipalities that also receive a share. That's ultimately for their attorneys to make a determination, but it really is my recommendation as counsel to not only this board, but, you know, boards to come, hopefully, that those boards will not have their hands tied with the ability to use these funds. I'm not saying that you'll ever, I agree with Mr. Rooks, I don't think you'll ever reach a day when Road and Bridge won't be the primary, you know, source or receiver of these funds. I just hate to see you, you know, permanently bind that board. And when I say permanently, it would have to be changed by the voters in the future. And that is an expensive and probably not likely successful endeavor.
And your opinion is of the law, is that correct? What you're saying, or
Yes.
you're venturing off? Okay.
I think the better practice is to follow the statutory language and allow it for any public purpose. And then, like I said, within your budget discussions, you all can decide on an annual basis if you want to allocate 100% of those funds to the Road and Bridge Department. That authority won't stop.
Everybody satisfied? Can we vote? Go ahead.
My
Go ahead.
feelings is I just hate to see it be too easy to take away and from the road department, and I know that's a big issue, a problem we have. And that's where I'm saying, I understand what you're saying there too, you know, you can use it wherever, but, and like you're saying, and boards to come, you don't know what they might want to do, you know, with the money and take it away from them and they can't operate.
Power of a vote, Mr.
That's
Crutchfield.
right, you're right.
Yes.
Exactly.
But ultimately, this body would be the one to make the decision where
Yeah.
those dollars can be spent at.
Yeah.
It just be, okay. Or able, what I should say.
Okay. All right, everybody happy now? All right, we got a vote, a motion and a second. All in favor, raise the right hand. All opposed, same sign. Carried 4-1, move on.
Okay, Mr. Westbrook, we moved
Thank you.
out of the public hearing into section 4, our reports and requests. The first one is the consent agenda. There are a number of items on that consent agenda. So we want to make sure that
I've read through them. I'll offer a motion that the consent agenda items be approved, A through K.
Mr. Chairman, I have a question. On D, I know it's here, public work project on Cherry Court and, to clean a ditch out, but is that causing a problem to the road? Is the reason that ditch has got to be cleaned out? Jeffrey, you could answer that?
I don't know, I don't know if it's causing a problem to the road. This was brought up, by Commissioner Spires. A citizen had called him. They've got a house that's in the middle of this, property, and the ditch runs in front of it, and they say it's flooding, causing the water to almost come into the house. And so it was, brought to me by Commissioner Spires. I put it on the agenda.
I just know where it's been in the past, if it ain't helping the road, you just helping private property. We can't get on private property unless you tie it into the road.
And this is still contingent on the signatures from the other property owners, because it don't just run through one property. It runs through about 5 properties.
If I may, Mr. Chairman, if I recall correctly, this was probably initially done probably 10, 15 years ago.
It's way before my time.
Right.
Johnny Woods, the man who runs the excavator now,
Uh-huh.
does this kind of stuff.
Right.
He remembers doing it, but it's been some time back.
Right. And it was significant, causing significant flooding, Mr. Crutchfield, and the board at that time saw that it was in need to be classified as a public works project, and it was approved. But this is not the first time. This is just not should say a redo. It's a request to have an area cleared so that the water can flow as opposed to flooding.
It'd be the same way if you gave them a cover. It'd be the same way you taking
Yeah.
care of people.
I just had some of the same problem, and I couldn't do anything about it. And what I've heard, the work that's been done even by government project, is like, and I relate that because was raised on a farm and involved in that, where government did build terraces or cut ditches out, stuff like that. It really wasn't left up for, people thought the county's supposed to maintain it. But really what it was is a one-time fix. Once they fix that, then it's up to the people to maintain it. So, it's like, there's so many ditches all over the whole county. It ain't fair to go and clean out one person's ditch and can't clean out another ditch. And as many ditches it'd take, I don't even know if 2 excavators could do it in a year. Just full-time cleaning ditches.
Well,
You know,
one
and
thing
county
about
can't
Cherry Court,
County board.
the highway is right next to Cherry Court there, and it's 2 feet higher than we turn to go in there to Cherry Court. I'm not familiar with it. I know where it is.
Mr. Register, could you explain to the board what's the problem that is there, what would need to be done to correct the problem?
It's, I guess it would be on the west side of Cherry Court. That property is higher, and it does come to a cross drain right there, and it does cross under Cherry Court. And what that water's trying to do when it crosses going east is trying to make its way over to the railroad tracks and run down the railroad tracks is where it's trying to go. But I guess over the years, and it's not been maintained or whatever, it's restricting flow, and it's causing a problem on this property.
If this problem is not addressed, could it eventually cause problems to
our infrastructure, the county's infrastructure, roadway or whatever?
It could.
One thing, the railroad is probably causing part of that, is where
Yeah.
that is.
It appears if you look at your elevation maps and all that, that is
Highway is another part of it,
right.
but it's up too high. Not up too high, but it's up a lot higher than Cherokee.
If this is approved, are we gonna clean out other ditches too when it comes up?
If y'all bring it to me, I'll present it in front of the board, and it's y'all's pleasure, whichever way y'all want to go with it.
It's just been always told me we can't do it. You know, if
Let's
you can't
vote.
tie it into the road.
Let's vote. Hmm?
We need a second.
We had one somewhere, no?
I made a motion, I don't think we got a
I
second.
need to get a second.
I'll second. Got a motion and a second to do the work on the consent agenda with chair courts involved. All in favor, raise your hand.
Actually, a motion to approve the consent agenda, which that's one of the items.
Yeah,
That was my motion,
okay.
and that's one of the items on the
All right,
consent
let's
agenda.
vote on consent agenda. You wanna do it all? Is that pleasure of the board?
That
You
was
wanna
my-
hand pick them out? Let's do the city all day. Anyway, y'all,
That was my motion to approve the consent agenda.
okay. Got a motion and
You have a second for that?
a second. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. It passes on. Now then, you wanna vote on chair court? Or you wanna include it?
That's part of the consent agenda.
Okay, fair enough. Let's move along.
Okay, the second item, Mr. Westbrook, is request for board appointment of two county commissioners to serve on the Value Adjustment Board. I have been told that last year, Mr. Branch and Mr. Crutchfield served on that Value Adjustment Board, but it's up to the discretion of the commission to have two commissioners serving on that board, so.
You want to serve?
I can, but if somebody else wants to, let's do.
Any on this side wanna serve?
I'll offer a motion that we appoint Commissioner Crutchfield and Commissioner Branch to serve on that.
Got a motion and a second. For those two appointments. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Good luck.
Okay, item number 3, Mr. Crutchfield Mr. Westbrook
Yes.
is, board appointment of citizen member to the Value Adjustment Board. Based on our discussions recently, we have had two, citizens of Jackson County that have indicated an interest to serve on the board. I think that there was a memo put in front of you this morning, Mary Libby Keel and Diane Pate. And we're asking the commission to appoint one of those to the Value Adjustment Board, approve of the appointment of one of those.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I move that we appoint this lost her name. Danny's
Ms. Pate,
wife.
sir.
Diane Pate, thank you.
Okay. Have a motion to appoint Ms.
Second motion.
Pate. Now there's a motion and a second. All in favor of voting, putting Ms. Diane Pate on the Value Adjustment Board, raise your hand. It's all opposed, same sign. Move along. Good luck, Ms. Pate.
Item number 4, Mr. Westbrook, is
Yes.
board approval to hire special counsel for the Value Adjustment Board. The attorney that served on that board last year has agreed to do so this year. And there is a small agreement attached to the agenda item for Martha Escutcheon to serve as the council magistrate for that Value Adjustment Board.
Chairman,
Yes.
I move that the board appoint Mr. Scuben to be the counsel for the Value Adjustment Board.
Okay.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All approve, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign as the attorney. Always got to have one, don't
They, ready to move on, Mr.
we? Yes, sir. Move on, please.
Item number 5, Mr. Westbrook, is a request for board approval of proposal to install, replace RTU duct detector, basically a smoke detector in the duct system for the HVAC system. This was an unknown expense. We have obtained a quote And we're asking that the commission approve the quote, and the funding would come from the fine and forfeiture fund. Is that correct, Mr. Jeter? Correct.
And this is a duct detector in each one of the, rooftop units. So there's a number of them, right?
Yes, sir. So when they had to remove the wiring and also replace the roof, and they did the casing of the wiring, and the wires were brittle and frail and couldn't be used to be replaced. So we've been on the fire watch since they started the roof project. So take care of this.
As the architect made a recommendation that this is a fair and reasonable price.
That's already been involved.
Does, Will feel like it's a fair and reasonable price for the amount of work that's being done?
Well, yeah, so this Johnson Controls, be a sole source because it's their product, their control board in the control room that monitors it, so.
How many units are we talking about? There's 15?
19,
How many?
but
19?
this is for maybe 12. I think maybe for the 12 housing units, so.
And the overall cost of the change order, total cost of the change order is $22,334. That's the total cost.
Great, yes, sir.
And Mr. Donfro, I think you've indicated it, but again, Johnson Controls owns the equipment
They
that
own
this
the
is attached to, and therefore they were not comfortable with someone else doing the work.
Correct.
It's kind of like a sole, required sole source.
And obviously, this is a life safety issue, so we've got to do it. So I'll offer a motion to approve the change order in the amount of $22,334 for the rooftop unit duct detectors.
Can we put my company in there with that, with it, just hire me?
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second, hire the people with Johnson Controls to rewire the duct detector. All in favor, raise your hand. All opposed, same sign, move along.
Question.
Yes, sir.
Made. Johnson Control, are they the group that's involved in the energy saving?
We're under
Yes.
a master services agreement with them for multiple buildings.
Okay, thank you.
One moment, Dean, please. Is there anybody in here besides Mr. Mason that needs to get up and go to work instead of sitting in that chair back there? If you do, on any of this stuff, we'll move you up if you like.
Mr. Mason?
Seems like he's enjoying it.
Yeah. Mr. Mason, the chair has asked if you would like to move your agenda item up to right now, if you. That would be fine.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
Okay,
the old train going forward, not backwards.
Is that a number 15?
yes, sir.
Yes,
So, we're moving 15 up to, the number 7 spot.
if that's all right with the board, that's
Okay.
okay, so come forward, Mr. Mason.
And, Commission, this is in regards to the surplus equipment out at the, Road and Bridge Department. There's been some number of discussions about trying to, sell that equipment, auction that equipment off, and just how to do that. We recently, meaning myself, Ms. Dara and Mr. Schaefer, met with Mr. Mason and Chad Mason, and we discussed the process that they use. They have a online auction system and a live stream auction system, and we feel like that it meets the intent and the spirit of trying to be open and competitive. And so this agenda item would allow the county to enter into an agreement with Mr. Mason's company to auction off that equipment. So that's what the recommendation is. And Mr. Mason, anything else?
Anybody got a question from Mr. Mason about that?
Yeah.
I don't know, we know very much about the auction, did
You have a copy of the contract and also the items listed. And, what we're looking at is roughly $370,000 being spent on their surplus equipment, and it's still sitting there. So it's, we're making a recommendation to, work with the county on trying to dispose of this equipment at, a very reasonable procedure and price. As far as moving it, we've agreed to help to move the equipment. And, I think we've, what we talked about the other day was moving it for a maximum $2,000.
Not to exceed, yes.
Not to exceed $2,000. There's 33 pieces of it. Some of it will have to be sold home with the semi. Some of it on our trailers, but it's more or less a one piece. Got to be 33 trips made with it. We'd be furnishing our own loader. We'd be furnishing our own help and everything. The only thing we request from the board was the 2 dump trucks that's being there still uninsured and everything, that they not be hauled. That was one of y'all's men with a DOT license would drive the 2 dump trucks stop. Which if and most of you know where our location is, we're just north of Campbellton. We are this money, if the equipment leaves and goes out of state, anything, the county will not be getting any taxes on it. And another thing, it will eliminate local people being unable to buy the equipment that help pay for it. We've been through this situation. We sold equipment for y'all for the past 40, 50 years. And we've always been fair with it, and that's why we like to keep it in the fair deal.
You got a question for Mr. Mason?
Anybody has any questions, anything about it?
Yeah, and you may have covered this, and if I missed it, I apologize, but any of the equipment or articles that are not sold, do those come back to us, or will you just keep those and dispose them for us?
We're gonna get them we don't get them sold. We don't have, we have a live internet system. We have 2 trucks. We are actually contracted with level, which is, we've had South American countries buy it. We've had North American countries buy it. And I hate to say it, but we've even sold equipment to Russia. And we don't encourage it, but we cannot. But it's a worldwide level, it's a worldwide company. And in fact, we've had people to be at a ball game before and bid on the telephone. That most of you familiar with this internet system, it is pretty well a worldwide system now. We have 2 of them going through the road. And but we would like to get approval to go ahead according to the contract and the only stipulation we need to put in there, Jim, that would be where it's got the terms and conditions about the maximum of $2,000 to make.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve the auction of the surplus vehicles and the equipment used Mason's auction and sales, and authorize the chairman to sign.
Second. Got a motion and a second to let Mr. Mason handle all our surplus equipment stuff that we have no use for. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Thank you, Mr. Mason. We'll excuse you. And you will next time wear that cap where I can recognize it.
I didn't wear my cap. Well, you might have got it, Detroit got some of that snow up there. All right, that's all.
Thank you, sir. All right. Got that out of the way. Go right ahead.
Item number 6, Mr. Westbrook is requesting board approval of letter of agreement between Jackson County Board of County Commissioners, Sunshine State Health Plan for medical management care. Commission approved this back in March of 2025. It's being changed slightly. It's the same language according to the chief. They're just adding the Children's Medical Services Plan as far as the ability to collect money on behalf of the county. So we're asking the commission to approve the agreement.
I'll offer a motion to approve the letter of agreement and authorize you as chairman to sign.
I got this.
No, I'll second that.
Had a motion and a second. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Move along.
Okay, next item, number 7, is board approval of Guettler and Guettler job quote, for Peanut Road, applying reflectors, on that road. It will be a part of our striping contract, and there is money in that contract to pay for this, item, asking the board to approve.
Chairman, I move approval.
Okay, we have a motion to approve, second to approve. All in favor, raise your right hand. Carried unanimously. Oh, go right ahead.
I vote for it.
Yes,
How
sir.
long is that project?
You mean time wise or mileage wise?
Mileage.
Mileage wise.
Is it Pole Peanut Road, 231 to Grayson?
231, so right there, as you're going into the city limits, great.
How many dollars, what's left in the striping? Do we know, right offhand, roughly?
Probably getting pretty tight. I don't know exactly. Because this one, we're just doing the reflectors. The striping is still, it's not as bad as like Fastwood when we just striped it and put reflectors. But that road's been done. There's not probably 10 or 15 reflectors still on it. So I think if we put the reflectors down, it's gonna help us tremendously.
I was on that road. It definitely needs it, so.
Is that just center line or center line and sides?
That's just the reflectors.
In the center line?
Yeah, on the center line, yes, sir.
If you would, Jeffrey or whoever, can you, let all the commissioners know what dollars are still left in that fund after these, funds are expended?
We will.
Thank you.
You will.
That's it. Okay, that's an excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Got a vote, don't we? Do we need, don't, got a motion and a second, we needed to vote. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, move along.
Mr. Westbrook, next item, number 8, request board approval of the Holley Timber Road change order number 2. This is to, change order 2, replaces an additional 30-foot pipe, adds, 10 more days to the contract. And this is a state-funded contract. There's money to, pay for the additional work, and, it's recommended by staff to approve.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve it.
We have a motion, do I have a second? Got 2 right over here, got 3 seconds, put them all down there. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign, move along.
Item number 9, Mr. Westbrook, request board approval, notification of award. This, Reddick Mill Road bridge was, bid out, and we received bids. The low bidder is approximately $90,000. We're asking the board to, authorize us to issue notification of award.
Who was the low bidder?
Extreme,
Was it Extreme?
but it says.
Oh, Extreme Land Restoration. We got experience working with them.
Any other questions?
I make a motion to approve it.
Motion by Mr. Crutchfield to approve,
Second.
second by Mr. Donald. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Move right along, please, sir.
Item number 10, request board approval of DHM, task order. This is the project that we just approved, to provide CEI services for that project. Asking the board to approve the agreement task order to engage DHM to do the CEI work.
These funds will come out of the BSCOP, FDOT money. I'll offer a motion to approve the, task work order with, DHM in the amount of, $27,802.50.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Move along.
Item number 11, request board approval of Poplar Springs Road final payout and closeout of the project for this Poplar Springs Road paving project. The board remembers us having discussions about the damaged guardrail on that road. We're asking the board to approve closeout final payment subject to the guardrail being completely repaired.
Mr. Chairman, I got confirmation yesterday afternoon the guardrail is repaired, everything's in good order, been inspected, we're good to pay out.
Thank you, sir.
Chairman, I move approval.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to approve. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Move along.
Okay, item number 12, request board approval to do a request for qualifications to do the vulnerability assessment adaptation planning document, which is funded by FDEP. This will be an RFQ, and as I understand it, this will identify potential projects associated with the original vulnerability assessment plan that was done for the county. This next step planning document would identify specific projects. And this is just an RFQ. It's fully funded by a grant through DEP.
We also asked them to approve the appointment of the ranking committee as well.
Yes, which includes you, Mr. Don French.
I'll offer a motion to approve the request for qualifications for the vulnerability assessment and appoint the members noted on the handout as the ranking committee.
We gonna get to see you do some of that.
Second.
Got 2 seconds on the right. Got a motion in 2 seconds. That's fine. That's all right. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Move along.
Mr. Westbrook, item number 13 is the asking for board approval of award of 2425-22 phase, I think it's phase 3, right, Red? Of the Shangri project. This project primarily is the construction of the pavilion at the site. Put a picture in front of each one of you so you can kind of get an idea. I know we saving money. We only printed black and white. We didn't do color. So.
And I'm just hard.
Yes,
That
sir.
looks very good.
So asking for board approval.
So is this comparable to what will be constructed? I mean, with the heavy timber trusses and the,
So it's a kit, that's ordered as is and then be constructed. So it's intended to go over the existing slab where the old structure was.
Are we gonna clean that up where we can see what we're paying for as we drive by, or we gonna let her be hid?
That's up to y'all. I kind of like it hidden myself.
What's in the
but-
plan? Did you have some plan before you started?
Well, not from the roadway, but everything's been cleaned from the water side, so you can see it from the pond itself.
In other words, what I would be to go by the plans as the architect or the engineer would say.
Right.
We can get you a key, Mr. Westbrook, if you'd like to go out there and look at it. And
I go by it every day, about 3 more times a day.
but we'll get you in the gate where you can see the whole.
Thank you. Thank you. That's a good idea. Thank you,
I have
sir.
a question, Mr. Daniels, please. I
Sir,
have a question, Mr. Daniels. Are there
Yes,
any
sir,
other
go right
plans
ahead.
at this time to do anything else to this structure?
After this, is erected, that will be the end of this project.
We'll just see where it goes.
I have a question.
Sure. Yes, sir.
Who's going to run this thing? Is the guy that's running Blue Springs or the county?
So that'll be addressed. So in the fall, we're gonna bring back the concessionaire agreement. So he'll be due for his first extension. So this is the 3rd of 3 seasons of our concessionaire. So he'd asked to go ahead and renew early rather than wait until right before next season. So we'll be negotiating with him going into the new contract extension as to what services he wants to expand from Blue Springs recreational area.
We'll be able to mark the spot there where that gate is, where we'll see a little bit more to get those concessions.
We could,
Good.
yes, sir.
And that way we won't have to get them from the water side. Go ahead.
So he would be able to, or we would be able to, if we so desire, to rent that thing, entrance being from the road rather than from Blue Springs.
That's right. Yes, sir. So currently it'll be foot accessible from Jackson Blue Springs or boat accessible from the mill pond. But as we enter into some agreements to have someone on site kind of monitoring it, ideally it would be our concessionaire, then it would be accessible by roadway for special events.
So you go out there and just, people could rent that.
That's right.
Specific area.
That's right.
Okay.
does this bid include getting electrical and some lighting out there? Or does it?
So
You got some ceiling fans there.
it'll include some additional site work. We're putting in some milling for additional walking access as well as parking area around the facility. There's power close that runs our well, so we'll be extending power from the existing transformer to it. We haven't worked out the details as far as water, septic, and some of those items, but power will be available and additional parking.
So in conjunction with this pavilion, are are the only restroom facilities down at the main?
Yes, sir.
Spring?
So that's one of the things we're kind of unsure how we want to invest our funds with county sewer extensions coming that way in the near future. So wait and tie on to that rather than spend, a substantial amount of money on a facility on site.
That's why. Yeah, go ahead.
What was the duration of the initial contract with this agency that's running Blue Springs right now?
It was a 3-year contract with the option of 2 1-year extensions with a maximum of 5 years.
Okay, and the annual fees that it generates for the county is?
It fluctuates, so they pay us based on a percentage of revenue. So they have a monthly deposit per se to hold the contract, and then they pay us a percentage of revenue. So it fluctuates. I could get you a monthly total, but it's not a set fee.
Okay, if you would, I'd appreciate that.
Sure thing.
Get me one as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
And
Anybody else want one?
And I would just say as a comment that, based on the concessionaire that, has been running, that, park for the last 3 years, I've heard a lot of good comments about the amenities, the additional amenities that have been provided to, users and, just the way that the park is, being, maintained. I know that the county, maintenance staff does some out there as well, but I think that's, been a good improvement to the way that, that facility has been run.
Is there? Anybody else?
Make a motion to approve it.
Got a motion. Got a second. Dr. Fire. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Move along.
Item number 14, Mr. Westbrook, is a rerun from last meeting. This is a request board award decision for solid waste removal as it relates to storm debris. Last month, the last meeting, the Ceres company was not willing to execute the contract as it was worded. They suggested different language. The county attorney had looked at it and suggested we not use that language they suggested. We took it back to them and told them that we would not be changing it. So now they've agreed to execute the contract. So we're asking the commission to approve award to.
Let's see, Jim, didn't you, you jumped ahead to item number 17 with that explanation.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Item
We're down to
number 14, I apologize for that. But item 14 is the solid waste collection, garbage collection throughout the county. The bids were received, reviewed by the commission, and the successful bidder, the successful ranked by the commission is Waste Pro, and we're asking the commission to allow us to award.
What's the board's pleasure?
I mean, we all 5 of the commissioners sat on the selection committee, read through the proposals, and I mean, it's I will say that I've dealt with both Waste Management and Waste Pro. I live in the city, so I've been a customer of Waste Pro for a long time. I've been very happy with their service. As a county commissioner with Waste Management, been very happy with their services as well. So my ranking, if anybody wanted to see it, will reflect basically high grades for both of those companies. Felt like we, regardless of which of the 2 firms was eventually selected, we would ended up with a very good vendor that would have provided very good service to the county. The way it shook out, I ended up with Waste Management being my highest ranked firm, but Waste Pro ended up being the consensus of the commission. And with that being the case, I'll offer a motion to approve the ranking and the selection of Waste Pro.
Got a motion to approve. I got a second. Got a second from Mr. Bryant. let's vote. All in favor of Waste Pro, signify by raising your right hand. All opposed, the same sign. Congratulations to Waste Pro.
Again, I understand, why Commissioner Crutchfield was voted that way. I mean, I again thought Waste Management would have been the better firm, having been providing a service here, but, again, it was a very democratic, process, and, I go along with the consensus of, the rest of the commission.
That's all valid and well put, and, if I understand it right, they were the lower bid. And that's what I'm interested in entertaining.
I don't know if there was a lower bid, but,
Best bid.
it was a request for qualifications and consensus of the commission.
Oh, yeah, I had a higher bid for waste management. And one reason I thought that, you know, we were making decisions for the whole county, what we're gonna go to. Plus, you know, the citizens out there spending their money may be happier with the vendor they with. And then we're making decisions to tell them how to spend their money. I just had a problem with that, and I felt like that I had waste management, never had a problem. If they work holidays, the only time I know of them being out is Christmas Day, and the rest of the holidays they run. If it comes their time to come by and pick up our garbage on a holiday, they pick it up. And so, you know, I ain't want to take anything away from Waste Pro. They probably do good too. We already got them. I'm kind of a firm believer if you get good service, you stay with pretty much what you got. It was my feelings on it, so.
Well, and all due respect to everybody, I think that the amount that voted them to spend their own money, I think was several boards back. I mean, a good many years ago. So I think that the former board by us, so maybe we won't get hung with that.
Yeah.
Maybe the ones that did it will. So anyway.
Excuse me,
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Westbrook, as a point of clarification, they were selected, so now we'll move into a contract and negotiation of a contract.
Yes,
with
sir.
them. We're not automatically signing on to whatever they want to do.
I have confidence in you that you can handle that.
Mm-hmm.
We got a good team that will make that happen.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Move along.
Okay, we're skipping over 15 because we've already addressed that. Moving to 16. This is a request board approval to award to the Jackson County Endeavor Museum Phase 2 repairs. Mr. Westbrook, this came in over bid. I'm really approximating the dollars available, but there's two options available to the commission since it did come in over budget. Option one would be to not move forward. There's a $500,000 grant from the state of Florida involved, and there's also approximately $500,000 available from the Tourist Development Council to fund this project. Some of those dollars have been used, but again, back to the two options. One option would be to not move forward. The other option is to award the contract subject to value engineering to remove certain things from the contract to get it down to where it is within the amount of money that we have, to include the construction and any CEI fees that might be involved, which would be somewhere around $750,000. So those are the two options, and the board just needs to tell us what direction they want to go with.
You've heard the recommendation. What's the board's pleasure?
Since I've somewhat been involved in that project, I do know that when and I guess that information is probably included in here. You can see by looking at the second sheet, the base bid summary, that there were certain aspects or components of the project that were bid out as line items. And I feel like we'll be able to potentially eliminate certain components of the work, certain scope of the work, and be able to stay within the funding available. And I think that's probably where we'll end up going. I know that there's a meeting being discussed as far as setting up a meeting to go through these and come back with some type of recommendation to the county, to the commission.
Yes, sir. I know that there has been a meeting sent out a schedule to have.
Mr. Dunn.
Question, Mr. Dunford.
Go.
I feel like most of the value value engineering has been performed already, or there's room for some more?
Well, a lot of the cost is, structural repairs to the existing concrete. And I think if we were to, pay for the mobilization, and, of course, the permit fee, take care of the structural remediation and repairs that are gonna have to be done on that building to eventually make it where it's occupiable, and then get basically a new roof structure and a new roof on it. I think we can do all of that, and stay within the budget, the available budget dollars, and then continue to, ask the state for additional funding to hopefully come in and eventually put windows and doors in it. But that would at least get, the building somewhat, dried in.
Curious. Thank you.
I have a couple questions.
Yes, sir, you sure can. You recognize.
Now this is the old kitchen.
Cafeteria. Yeah.
Cafeteria. What is that gonna be a museum of?
It's my understanding it would be Jackson County history, and.
Of the boys' school or Jackson County?
That, and Mr. Donifro's been involved a lot.
Kelsey's back there as well, but,
Oh, there's-
I don't wanna, I'll defer to Mrs. Jackson, but my understanding is it would be a museum, basically, reflecting the history of Jackson County and also the history of the Dozier School for Boys, both.
Yes, sir. So we have a museum committee that we put.
Pull that mic down to you where you can all understand you,
A
sweetheart.
little
Thank
shorter
you.
than our
Yes, ma'am.
speakers. So our museum committee that's under the county commissioners have been working diligently on developing what topics we will cover in the museum. We've narrowed it down to 5 core topics, which will be ecological, agricultural, military, important people and places, and Dozier history. It is a focus from the state grant committees that are reviewing our grant requests that we do make sure Dozier is included in that history. So we will have a core exhibit space that will be dedicated towards Dozier, but the large majority of the space will be dedicated towards Jackson County history.
The history, who is going to provide the information that's going to be on display?
Yes, sir. So currently we have 6 workshops that are being developed that will be taking place in each of your districts over the next about 9 months or so. We are going to be engaging with our community to be submitting applications for different stories, artifacts, and exhibits to have displayed in the museum. So this will be largely something that our community contributes to, and our committee members on the museum will also be researching to include information in this museum. Once we do have everything finalized for those workshops, all of you will receive an invite to attend the workshop in your district or any of the others if you prefer. That way you're able to contribute and get to hear what your constituents are saying as well.
And Kelsey, there's you have a book or y'all working on a document master plan, for lack of, but have you sent that to the commissioners yet? The
No,
draft?
sir. I'm finalizing our updates from our internal review that we did, and then I can get the business plan sent out for them to review as well.
Very good. I was under the understanding that are we going to use information obtained from the doctor, whatever she was, that was out there?
I want to answer this tactfully. We will be making sure that we include resources and information from all sources available, which some will include from the investigation that was done by the university. We also hope to conduct one-on-one interviews with various attendees from Dozier, those who have had a broad experience, some that are from some of the more familiar media stories, and then some that aren't as common in the media.
I have a problem with people tell me that they have a problem with spending tax money, Jackson County tax money on that. And I tend to agree with you.
Yes.
If the state wanted to do that, that would be one thing. But
That is a thought.
we're in the middle of a fight and scratch to fund a budget right now.
Yes.
And I can't agree to take that tax money that we're overseeing and use it on something that we may not even like. You know?
If I could, Mr. Branch, the county money that would be used as part of this project is the bed tax money. You know, and I understand what you're saying but technically that 5 cent money that the people up down the interstate pay to the hotel that comes back to the county. So, yes, it is, Jackson County dollars, but it's dollars that we got from people that were on the interstate, it's not like we're paying ad valorem taxes into it.
But we accrue it here.
It's bed tax money, yes.
No, thank you.
But I think it's safe to say, and I concur with what Commissioner Branch is saying. We want the story that's told about Jackson County to focus on the positive aspects of Jackson County and not necessarily, again, there's a lot of what came out as a result of, I think Dr. Kimmery's study that it doesn't necessarily need to be a part of the story. And I think that we'll all have an opportunity to review that and have input into it. And hopefully, the story that's told will be one that's positive and focus on positive aspects of Jackson County, which there are a tremendous number of positive components and attributes to Jackson County that we can focus on. And I'm sure that we'll have the opportunity to do that.
That's a pretty good description.
And may I comment, please?
Yes, sir. Dr. Barr.
And I think we also have to consider that there's an educational value associated
Yeah.
with that.
Oh, man.
That's immeasurable. Now, in terms of dollars, that will be existing long after we're gone.
Yeah.
So try and look at it from that perspective as well.
I
And not whether I personally like it or you personally like it, but the educational value that it will have for citizens of the county.
just want whatever's promoted out there to be truly what it was back then, whether it's from Dozier or the agricultural part or whatever, just let it be true and accurate.
Okay. And if there's some negative things discovered, so be it, but that hopefully will prevent us from repeating those negative kinds of things that may or may not have occurred.
If I may, our hope and our intention with the stories that we're developing for the museum are to provide a well-rounded where we can be able to acknowledge some of those things that are more negative, but round them out with here's additional information that provides context of the times that those were in, provides references to other areas that were undergoing similar experience. So that way people can be able to see this wasn't just a negative space. This was a product of the time that it was built in and running in.
Is this what we vote on today? Is that for that money to be spent there? I'd rather hear what the people in the county say about it at these workshops before I vote.
The building is what we.
The building, only the building is what we're discussing today, and there is a time aspect to this. The $500,000 grant from the Secretary of State's office, it has to be spent prior to December the 31st. But again, we're only talking about the building, not the master plan or the business plan, and I think it would be good for Mr. Branch to get a copy of that before it's finalized.
What are we gonna do if we vote to do this and then the master plan, we don't agree with it?
We changed the master plan.
Say that again a little louder for me.
We changed the master plan. So the
Yeah.
master plan or the business plan entails the different focuses and stories that we plan to tell. It's much more focused on the business operations of the facility itself, but we do include a core focus on the different exhibits and the focuses of the history we plan to tell. So if there are elements within that do not align with what y'all feel like are your constituent desires and what comes out of our workshops, we can come back to the drawing board and change that until we feel like it's a good representation of the community wants and needs.
And I know I've read that business plan, Mr. Branch, and there are some changes that I felt were needed, and I would encourage the board to read it. It's not a lot of reading, but it's important for people that lived it to have input in it.
I won't.
Well, if I may say a few words, the chairman. We do have some history here sometime we're not quite as proud of, but we have that at home as well sometimes. And so there's some things to be told and things to be said, but how that's prepared will make one heck of a difference. And the way someone that's got the ability to, just as I have to drill a well or Mr. Donapro has to build a building, someone that can describe it would be much more entertaining in that way, especially in light of the fact of spending so much money, and whether that money comes from Timbuktu or Maryland or wherever, is still accrued right here in Jackson County, Florida. Thank you. That's all I have.
Okay.
Go ahead.
One thing about it, you know, we're not putting the museum in right now, we're just preserving the building. And the two things come out of that, and like Mr. Donapro said, that the tax money is coming from most of the time, probably from out of state people. Because there's not too many people that's living right here in Jackson County gonna be in a motel, paying the taxes, so that money that come from them, most of it. And another thing is, we got a grant to do that. If we don't do that, you gotta turn that money back, which may hurt us trying to get more money to do the grant. So you gotta get the building fixed first. And then, you know, there's a lot could be done with that building after it's fixed, if it don't pan out to be a museum.
Well,
His follow up with Commissioner.
yeah, after I say a couple of words more, but in answer to what you said, I think Mr. Branch is more interested in it being done right than anything in the world. And I would be I'd be in the same set of shoes. And I think it will be, and I think it needs to be looked at and dealt with maybe several times before you put yourself in there. We have confidence in you, or you wouldn't be where you are. And we thank you for putting yourself out there like that. But at the same time, we've just about every one of us right here, we raised you all our lives. And for me, it's been a long time, but certainly, provided we're gonna do that, and provided the state is gonna help us with the money, we still wanna do it right. And I think that's what Mr. Donapro alluded to there about some people from out of town doing that. I would block the door before I'd allow to see that happen. I want people to be here, be satisfied in this county. I'm not worried about Tampa. Thank you. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, just to follow up on what Commissioner Crutchfield said, at this point in time, all we're doing is basically approving Monolith as the low bidder and giving DHM and myself and Kelsey and whoever else needs to be involved, Mr. Dean, an opportunity to try to look at this bid and scale down the scope of the work to a point that we can afford to do it with dollars that we've got. And at this point in time, we're not deciding what's going to go into the building at all. All we're trying to do is get the shell to where we're a little bit closer to getting to the point where we're going to figure out what the exhibits are going to be and what the story that's going to be told is. But this is just basically to get to structurally repair the building and get a roof on it. And what goes in it, we're a ways away from that at this point in time.
And again, Mr. Westbrook, time is of the essence. If we either move, if we're gonna move forward.
Let's go.
I'm talking about the building, to use the grant funds by December the 31st.
Yes.
If you approve it, maybe there's some language in there because we need to bring it back.
We'll amend it. Yes, sir.
Hopefully we'll be able to bring it back to the next board meeting and see what the engineer and will be able to determine what can be done with the dollars available.
Make a motion to approve.
Got a motion to approve.
Yeah.
Do I have a second? No, you can't, can you? You can't, can you?
Can we specify again what we are approving?
All we're approving, Mr. Spires, is the potential and the improvements to the building. That's all we're approving. We're not approving what goes in the museum. We're not approving, the content or the context of anything to do with the internal. It's just the actual structure is what we're voting.
And really, we're just approving Monolith as the low bidder so that we can sit down with Monolith in the next couple of days and figure out of their bid, what we can afford to do and what we plan to do, with the dollars available. So I don't think we're gonna be able to do everything that was bid, the whole 1,136,000, but, hopefully we can scale it down via some value engineering, Commissioner Spies, to get it within and get the scope of the work matched up to the dollars available.
And I'll second.
Got a motion and a second to approve. All in favor, raise your right hand. Did you raise your hand, Dr. Spire?
Yes, sir.
Carries 3.
I recused myself as.
Yeah, that's correct.
Thank
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Jackson. All right.
Item number 17, Mr. Westbrook, is a repeat of what I tried to start a few minutes ago. This is request board approval of the contract for debris removal and disposal services with Ceres Environmental Services. Like I said earlier, we had this on the last agenda, but Ceres wanted to change the contract language. County attorney reviewed it and recommended not changing it. We left them off. We told them that we couldn't approve it with their proposal, so they agreed to sign it as we proposed, and so we're bringing it back for, commission approval.
So we'd already approved the contract, the terms of the contract with DRC. Now we're
DRC.
following with Ceres.
Yes.
For 5 years.
I'll
make a motion to approve it.
I'll second.
Got a motion to approve, motion is second to approve Ceres part of the bid. All in favor, raise your hand. Now, what we call that in Bascom is it's a poor game, 2 can't play. So, Madam, Attorney, good for you.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Westbrook, the next 2 items deal with the extension of 2 grant agreements with the, with hazard mitigation grants. All these agenda items do is extend the contract, and if you would like, we could potentially combine these 2 into one, 18 and 19.
Let's do. That suit the board? Okay, move along with that.
Okay, so those request to approve the extension of the modification number 2 to the HMGP contract 4399-147R and contract 4399-158R.
Chairman, I'll offer a motion to approve the extension, mod number 2 for HMGP 4399-147R and HMGP 4399-158R.
Got the motion, a second from Mr. Bryant. What's the board's pleasure? Everybody approved? Move along. You studied that, Mr. Donko, you got all those numbers.
I was reading them. It wasn't by memory.
Mr. Westbrook, item
Yes, sir.
number 20.
Yes, sir.
This is a request to the board to deviate from our procurement policy. There is a set of plans and specifications were developed to make improvements to the Neals Landing boat ramp / camping area and bathrooms. There was a volunteer group that came out and did all the electrical group. They plan to do the electrical for us for campsites out at Neals Landing. In conjunction with that, there's a need to bring the bathrooms back into operation by developing a septic tank system. The septic tank system, we're asking to deviate from the procurement policy and allow staff to obtain quotes from septic tank companies within Jackson County to provide that improvement to the septic system based on the set of plans. We would solicit companies within Jackson County to provide a proposal, give them a deadline and a time to submit their proposal, and then staff would administer that. And again, I stress that we already have a set of plans and specs that were done by engineer. So we're asking to deviate from the policy to procure those services.
And where will those dollars come from? Are those budgeted amounts?
Those are budgeted.
Yes, sir. Yeah, then the intent is to, rather than do the 30-day bid, We can solicit quotes by next week and initiate the work and have this project closed out by the end of the fiscal year and eliminate these funds from being rolled over.
Quick question.
Go ahead.
Is that going to be, that system going to be hooked up for the campsites or just for the bathroom?
So it'll be two different systems. There'll be one for a dump station that will be for the campers. So they will not have sewer hookups at the campsites, but there'll be a dump station on site for them.
So separately from what the bathrooms will be?
It'll be separate system, but it's all in the one project. So that'll be funded as part of this as well and constructed.
So the dump station and the bathroom will be done at the same time?
That's right.
All right, what's the board's pleasure?
Mr. Chairman, what
Yes,
is
sir, go ahead.
legal? Is it legally okay for us to forego the bidding process in this situation?
So y'all will just need to make findings to justify that deviation, which it sounds like it's justifiable.
Based on time.
On what basis?
I would throw out there from Ms. Jordan that we, the timing, those funds are programmed for this fiscal year. And it would allow us to solicit to local vendors rather than going outside of Jackson County.
Mm-hmm. And I'm okay with that, but I know that we already give a percentage discount for local
Yes, sir.
vendors already.
Yes.
Is it okay in this situation for us to legally forego the bidding beyond Jackson County? I mean,
So you're asking two different questions.
Mhm.
The first question has to be directed to the funding source, that's not a question that I can
The
answer.
funding source is Jackson County citizens.
that we have a policy.
We have a
That allows
procurement policy, Mr. Spires. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but we have a procurement policy that was approved by this body.
Yes.
And this body has the authority to deviate from that policy if they want to. If they don't want to, that's fine. But it's not a state policy or a federal policy. It is this board's policy, and that's what we're asking to deviate from. Because if you go over $10,000, I believe, 15,000, you have to put it in the paper and advertise it to the public.
So we don't anticipate any adverse reaction from any potential provider outside of Jackson County legally.
I mean, I can never guarantee that.
Okay. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
I'll offer a motion, and we've got a number of vendors that have the capability and qualifications to do that within the county. I'll offer a motion that we deviate from the county's procurement policy, allow us to contact local providers and seek bids based on the plans put together by DHM, put those plans together, didn't they? For the septic tank and drain field system at Neals Landing.
The second.
There's a motion, I have a second. You got a second? Okay. Motion and a second to move the bid up. The people in the county, everybody in favor, raise your right hand, move along.
All right, I'm not in opposition,
Okay.
not to the vendors in the county, but I'm a little fuzzy on the legal.
That's all right. Let's go back and get it just like you want to do it. I don't mind.
That's okay. It's passed down.
Okay. Move along.
Okay, Mr. Westbrook,
Yes.
items 22, 23, 24, and 25 are all related.
Okay.
22 is an amendment to the master agreement that we have for funding for the Indian Springs sewer out on Blue Springs Highway. And the state of Florida, or the Water Management District, who receives the money from the Florida Department of Environmental Protection, is proposing amendment number 7 to that master agreement to incorporate additional dollars into the master agreement, which will accommodate number 23, 24, and 25, which are work authorizations associated with that sewer project. So the 22 is to agree to modify the master agreement, which would be amendment number 7. Number 23 is to provide or approve a work authorization to All Day Howell for additional project management funds. Amendment, the second one, 24, is a work authorization to approve project management associated with Phase 3A and bring additional construction dollars into the master agreement. And then the 25 is a work authorization to add additional design work and bidding for Phase 3B associated with that entire project. So if you're okay with it, or if you want to take them, each one of them separately.
I'm okay with it. Board pleasure. Do them all. Everybody? Yeah, do them all.
We'll see now.
I heard every one of it.
So, are we looking at item number 21 is a change order?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so that needs to be done separate, but then the change of the master agreement could, along with the work agreements could all be done as
I
well.
apologize. Mr. Westbrook, can we do 22, 23, 24, and 25, so I don't have to repeat that?
Yes, sir.
And then do 20?
Yes, sir, we certainly can. By unanimous consent from the chairman.
Gotcha.
So,
I didn't see anything in there about saying that road should be level. But doggone, it don't need to be level at some point in time. Them manholes, every day, I think I'm gonna knock the wheel off my truck. Anyway,
well, and I agree.
thank you.
I mean, that doesn't have anything to do with this, I think.
We should be.
We should do, yeah. I'll offer a motion, if it's okay with the board, to take all four of these items. One, to approve the amendment number 7 to the master agreement, and then also approve the amendments of the additional task work orders with All Day Howell Engineering associated with those changes. Well, that amendment, proper motion.
Yeah.
Everybody comfortable with that motion?
Yeah, that's fine.
Second.
All right. Heard the recommendation. What's everybody happy with it on the board? Just hold your hand up there long enough. You'll be all right, sir. Thank you. If you're getting sick from old age, I'll help you hold it up.
That's right, yeah.
Okay, Mr. Westbrook, I
Yes.
apologize for
That's
skipping
all right.
21.
You're forgiven. Go right ahead.
But 21 is a change order associated with the sewer project in Indian Springs. This is a change order as a result of, goes back to the beginning of the project, where the contractor was required to provide submittals describing the different aspects of control panels, pumps, and things of that nature. There was a delay in getting those done. Then once that was done, you had the problem with actually, due to supply chain delays right after COVID, there was a huge delay in the time to get the materials on site. And so at this time, we're asking the commission to approve the change order that would allow them to have additional 384 days associated with this project.
Did the contract, I mean, of course, you know, in dealing with construction projects, these days, and the delays in getting materials for construction projects, most contractors have gotten to a point where as soon as the contract is issued, they begin the process of developing shop drawings, getting those shop drawings approved, and ordering materials as soon as possible, so as not to expose themselves to year-long change orders. Did the contractor fail to order those parts in a timely manner?
I'm gonna jump in and let Mr. Daniels also, I think it was just potentially the engineering firm delayed the timing of getting this change order to us. And Mr. Daniels, I'll let you comment too.
That's part of it. There's several factors, one of which is the shop drawings that were submitted had to go through several iterations before they were approved. The control panels that are spec for these jobs typically take about a year to construct once they're approved. And then additionally, if you remember, we kind of hit the pause button for a couple months last year when there was a lot of discussion about relocating the Wayside Park lift station rehab. So that delayed some ordering because we weren't sure what the direction was going to be on relocating that rehab. So that is underway now, and that is the last portion of this phase that will be completed. The on-lot services have been initiated in Indian Springs. The lift station is operational. It's the Wayside rehab that is causing the delay now.
And phase 2B, describe the geographic, that's phase 2B is the one that's way at the east end.
So it'll be Appalachia Trail, which if you go down, into Indian Springs, this is the last
guess
portion
north
of the
of-
waterfront, before you start moving uphill. But it also incorporated the rehab at Wayside, which is on Highway 90, at the old Wayside Park.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve it.
Okay, and motion by Mr. Crutchfield to approve, I'll entertain a second.
Second,
Got a second, Mr. Donald,
with the explanation.
all in favor, signify by raising their right hand, all opposed, same sign, move it on.
Mr. Westbrook, the last item on the agenda is request by
Hallelujah.
the airport board to approve Mr. Lenny Shores back to the airport board at Tri-County Airport.
Have to move approval.
Got a motion and a second to approve Mr. Lenny Shore, my former classmate at Chipola just a short few years ago. And all in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. That winds it up. I do have one thing that I want. Can we get to a position with this board where we are not put in a position of bidding something at the last minute, just as we just did, something that Dr. Spires brought up, and I agree with you. If we can get towards that, I don't know what the route we need to take, but certainly we need to try to get it.
Mr. Westbrook. If
I know you haven't been here very long.
No, that doesn't matter to me. If we could, I think we're going to bring a modification to our procurement policy, which is the policy of this board on raising the threshold for when we have to go to the and put an ad in the paper and publicly solicit bids. $15,000. I'm not sure when that policy was developed, but it wasn't a year or two ago. And we're going to ask, we're going to ask that the board consider increasing that amount before we have to go and advertise in the paper. So that's one thing that we can do, because like the project that you just approved, I mean, it's not that complex, especially since you already have some drawings or design provided by an engineer. So
Something in hand.
if y'all, hopefully you'll remember this conversation whenever we bring that change to you.
I think it's justifiable, Wes. I mean, $15,000, Mr. Westbrook knows, I think all of us know, you can't do much of anything for
No, not anymore.
$15,000 anymore.
I'd like to add something on that point, if it's all right with you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir, go right ahead.
A lot of times on these projects, we're at the mercy of the design or architectural firm that's involved. If we do not have, the scope of work that we're actually bidding or the project details, then that limits us on what we can do. And that unfortunately was the case specifically on the Neals Landing. It's been in process for months just to get the design.
And with all due respect of any member that's involved, I would say this, that the pressure be put to them instead of us.
Understood.
We don't want to, if there's no way but hurt the people's feelings, we may do it, but I certainly don't want to do it on my own. So
Yes.
That's where I'm coming from. And I'm sure the rest of them probably feel the same way, even though I'm speaking for 4 others. But anyway, anybody got anything you want to bring up?
Yes, sir.
Recognize.
I know in our last meeting, we voted to not send out RFQs or RFPs, whatever you refer to them as on this insurance deal. And undoubtedly, there's a lot of people here this morning. I see the insurance people here. I've been approached in restaurants, in stores, people's called me, people's come to see me. And they're a little upset about how we did that. And, I mean, we're sitting here about to be, when this meeting's over, we're gonna go in a budget hearing. And we're trying to find money to run this county with. And people has said, why did y'all do that? And I can't really tell them. I think that I would like for us to take another look at that. We know more about the budgets right now. I don't think that, I'm not saying that we should do this one or that one or any other one, but at least we ought to be able to look at it and then make a decision about it.
This is, I'm sorry, go.
People, you know, one says they can save us money here, the other says they save us money here. We don't know. I don't know. I think that's just something that we need to take another look at. And, I don't know how the rest of the board feels about it, but there's a lot of people upset about this. I'm telling you, I get calls and approached almost every day about it for the last 2 weeks.
Chairman,
Go ahead.
I'd like to rise to a point of order and say that,
Good.
if I recall parliamentary procedures correctly, that in order to revisit this decision that was made at the last meeting, somebody on the prevailing side must bring it up.
Not necessarily.
No?
No. You can bring it. I checked with that myself. And from I would say a guy with Robert Rules of Order, the guru, and he may have been wrong, but I don't think so, because he teaches it every day. But at the same time, that's called renewing the motion. Anyway, you're right, in the Florida legislature, that's the way it has to be. But I don't know that by what I checked with. Now, I stand corrected because I don't have it written down. But I would say that you can renew the motion.
By someone who wasn't on the prevailing side.
Yes, that's correct.
My understanding is, along with Dr. Spires, is that in order for a motion to be brought to revisit an issue, it has to be brought from from one of the, in this particular case, one of the three.
Prevailing side.
On the other side.
I understand, but you don't have to do it. You can bring it up again. Now,
I mean,
do I have it in writing to prove to you? No, I do not.
Didn't we recently reiterate the fact that we were following Robert's Rules of Order, as a policy to proceed by?
I don't recall.
I think maybe it was before you.
I don't recall hearing that since I've been here, but I would say this, that if we can't, it's not gonna be very democratic, if you look at it that way. I'm not talking about a Democrat registration. I'm talking about democratic in the way of our lives.
I guess the follow-up to that, the counter argument to that was, it was already democratic. It was voted on, and, of course, I certainly understand.
Well, I have not used the proper word then.
I mean,
With all due respect,
right,
what I
same
say.
here. Again, it was voted on by this board, and I guess the reason why they put that in place, and Dr. Spires may know better than I do, is to keep this issue from being continuously brought up.
Yeah.
It can be, once a meeting. But
Well, I'll say this. I think if Jackson County had plenty of money, I don't think people would say anything about
I
it.
agree with you on that.
But we don't have plenty of money. We scrape for everything we get. And for the public to hear that we do not even want to take a look at saving money, I think that sends a bad message for the public, for us, to the public. I voted against it the other day. I thought we ought to look at it. I still think we ought to look at it. I don't know who would come out on top. Who gives us the best service with the lowest price is the one I want. But
Well,
we're looking at, you're not looking at $10,000. You know, I say that. I don't know that. None of us know that because nobody's seen it. But I think we ought to have the opportunity to look at it.
well, if for no other reason, transparency. Now, not, like as you said, you know, if J. Paul Getty was in here and had plenty of money for us, it probably would never make any difference. But as you said, every dollar we spend here, we look at it and we try to make a good decision. And I don't think that's void of any member. I think every member up here does. And with all due respect to every member up here, I just think transparency is where we need to go, especially when we deal with a lot of money. And we're also, we're gonna deal with the budget here in just a little while. But if I understand it right, we're having to take money away from one year and put it in the other one, if I understand what Mr. Dean has explained to me. So that's where I'm coming from, and that's where I understand it. And everybody's got their own right to vote the way they want to, and I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I would not want to be on the vote that way, provided I was gonna run for office anymore.
That's enough, that Robert Rules of Order. Unless it's been a recent change.
I can't see where it's interrupting pending business. I do see that.
If someone else wanted to bring it up, you would need a motion to suspend the rules.
That happens, yeah. That's the way to do it in Tallahassee. That's the only place I've ever been beside right here.
Well, if we continue to vote to suspend the rules, then essentially we have no rules.
I mean, that's the proper procedure.
I see what you're saying. I'm just making a comment.
That's what rules made for. Go by.
Yeah, oh, I thought you were trying to say we broke it.
That too.
Well,
I guess as my understanding, Mr. Chairman, is if, there's not a motion from, either Mr. Spires, Mr. Crutchfield, or myself to reconsider it, it's a decided issue. That would be my understanding. Yeah,
I will assure you next month that I'll have something written down. I can't argue with what you got written down there. And I can't argue with what I said because I don't have it. But
Well,
the other part of that argument is transparency. Go ahead.
I'll say this, with the amount of people that's approached me about this, I think we're not sending a very good message to the public of what we did, by what we did. It may turn out, it may turn out the same way. But I know I promised the people that I talked to that I'd bring it back up. I brought it back up. And it's up to, I think everybody on this board knows where I stand with it.
same here, and I've had the opposite. I've had a number of people call me, tell me that we made the right decision based on the longevity of the vendor being in Jackson County and the service that they provided. And I'll say it again, especially when it comes to professional services, low bid is not always the best. The lowest priced is not always the best. You're getting ready to have the heart surgery, would you go out to bid? And
I've had that.
I agree.
I've been through that.
So,
But that's reading the request for proposals are concerned.
But I've seen this board right here take the lowest bid, and we know that they weren't gonna do a good job if we take the lowest bid.
The very next item we voted on the other day after that, we went the opposite direction.
I think if the contractor, if we put a low bid out, we put a bid out and the low bidder was one of the contractors that, I'm not gonna mention the name that's been involved in a project, I don't think that I would approve that.
Ms. Jordan?
While we're on the topic, you did have one person sign up today. It looks like Trent Childs.
Yes,
The
ma'am.
topic is INS, which I'm gonna assume means insurance. If you would like to open, the public comment, you did have an individual in the audience who wants
Mr.
to
Dean,
speak on that.
do you see that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Mr. Childs did approach me before the meeting and asked to be placed on the, bill.
Mr. Giles, you may come forward. Thank you. Thank you.
Gordon, how are y'all today?
Good.
My name's Trent Childs. I'm a local business owner in Grand Ridge. I deal with insurance across the board. Transparency on this board is a big topic. I mean, what does it hurt letting the public know what's going on? Talked about the, Neals Landing, the septic. Dr. Spires brought a good point up. Where's that in this, case here? Public's got a lot of questions, good, bad, ugly. I think the, voters deserve an answer and some transparency on this board. That's it. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Come forward. Lady on the left, you come forward. Then we're gonna get another one in just a sec. Let the lady come on, Mr. Baker. Let that lady come on, and then you come right behind her. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you
My
for
name-
coming.
My name is Carol Christie,
White.
and we are here this morning to address the board concerning the RV park proposal for Cottondale and Pontiac Loop Cottondale. There's an application submitted to the county planner by Felix and Kathleen Summers with Camry LLC and Jeffrey Summers as his engineer from Boynton Beach, Florida. Now, they are proposing a 58 unit RV park and campground with cabin on Pontiac Loop right here in Cottondale, directly across from Cottondale Elementary School. As members of the community and residents of Jackson County, we do not believe that there's a proper location, a proper fit for an RV park. Given where the project is going to be located, we have several concerns. The environmental concern, what you're going to have on the wasteland, the wildlife, the water usage and sewer disposal, the traffic and the pollution, the risk of from the conflict with Florida Code 64E.15, which said of the development near a location of a school. They're right in that project. If that project goes through, that is in direct violation of the Florida Code 64E.15. So we are just asking when that come before you all for a vote, we are asking you all, please do not approve and have that application. Cottondale is a quiet residential area. People been living there for many, many years. Miss Moore right here, she will speak. We're not against the development. We are not, but we want something that aligns with Cottondale, with us, where everybody gonna benefit from. With studies show an RV park across Florida. Other communities are fighting the same issue they're fighting. Their county commissioner are supporting them, and we're asking you when it comes that time for you to look to support us as Jackson County resident and Cottondale resident.
Our board, excuse me, ma'am, for 1 second. Our board has a policy of 3 minutes, so just
Yeah.
stay with us. Okay, go ahead. No, you're fine. You step right up there and talk.
Okay, short, sweet, and simple. My name is Venice Gardner Moore. I'm a resident of Cottondale, Florida.
Yes, ma'am.
Graduated from Cottondale High School.
Yes,
And I stay on the road that they are trying to put the RV park on, Pontiac Loop. Are any of you all remember, familiar with Pontiac?
I am.
Okay, that part will be no more than like 20 to 30 yards from where I grew up. My family moved over on that side in 1965. I grew up with neighbors, cousins, friends, and everybody, and I strongly oppose of the RV park being put there because we still have children, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren goes to Cottondale Elementary and some of the other children in that community as well. So that's why we deny, of the RV park being put in there. And just recently, one of our old resident, she was up in age resident, lived to be 102.
Yeah.
And she died, 2 years ago, right there in that same area. So if you all would.
Thank you for,
Your hearts to deny, the
We-
RV park, we would.
we hear you.
Do you know, Mr. Chairman, has this come before the planning and zoning board yet? I mean, is this?
Not that I know of.
I don't think it's gone before the planning and zoning. I think the developer has actually held some public meetings at this point.
We had.
So it's moving through the process, but I don't think it's gone to the planning and zoning. And we have received response.
Is your opposition primarily because of the number of units, or is it just, the RV park in general?
Just the RV park.
I mean, so if it was,
Yes,
8
sir.
units or 10 units, you still would be in opposition to it?
Yes, sir.
Plus, our property value is gonna go down as soon as they break ground, so that's what really we worried about because of the fact, and plus, like, they bringing people in, we don't know. They say they're gonna screen these people, but you only can do so much on the background check. So we don't know what we bringing in, and, we don't know what we're gonna get, and they said they're gonna stay like 7 days at a time. So we're not sure, because it can be sex offenders, anybody, the kids are out here waiting for the bus, they can pick them up. We just don't know. So we really don't want that in our neighborhood. And then plus we have animals, and then if they have animals and they want to ride their bike, it's just gonna be a really conflict that I think. And so I'm really against it.
All right. Thank y'all for coming. We appreciate you having a comment.
Thank you.
And Mr. Staver, you want to come forward?
My name's Jack Staver, and I appreciate you, Commissioner Branch, for bringing up about the comments about the insurance. So every person I've talked to says, why would they do that? And I'm on the same board. I've been in construction for 55 years, and I've never not bid a project on anything. I understand that this company that you have for insurance has been there for 55 years. When was the last time an RFP went out to them? Anytime? Anybody got an answer for that one? I'm really curious, There's a lot of talking here tonight, and Mr. Crutchfield, you were the one that said it. We're trying to save the citizens money. We do something that's just hanging out there for 55 years? Why don't you guys do what it says? Let me just read this for you right out of your own page. It says, that it supports the initiatives that will benefit Jackson County in the future and ensures the delivery of quality services to every citizen of the county. You didn't do that. You didn't do that at all. Only 2 people did here. And I really think you guys really need to look at yourself, look in the mirror and see it's all of our money. It's not just mine, it's everybody's money. And we all have to pay taxes. It affects you guys too. So I really, really think you really need to consider this because this is a big issue. And it's a transparency issue too. Why wouldn't you do it? So thank you.
Sir, thank you for coming. Have anybody else? Come forward, please, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
County Commissioners, thanks for your time again. I'm sitting out there debating on where to start with this, and just a little brief recap for
for everyone. This has become a hot topic, not by design, from me. It's just a hot topic because it's pretty obvious that this is a good and fair process that should be engaged. And, you know, I started this 2 years ago. We came in looking for an opportunity with various counties to see what we could do in service in our industry in this area. I'm a rural panhandle guy, raised and born and raised and lived all my life in Liberty County. I understand struggles of physically constrained rural counties and the services they need. I know some of the objections keep coming back to, you know, some level of comparison when you're completely uninformed on what that comparison should be. That's what the RFP process is designed to do. So going back 2 years ago, we started doing our research, invested our time and resources into figuring out if this would be a productive process for your county, for Jackson County and the taxpayers, all taxpayers. I'm a taxpayer. You know, I spend a good amount of that sales tax we talked about earlier here. And we know that we have a basis. I would not spend the resources and time up here in front of you, and coming to all your meetings and trying to be involved and engaged in bringing a level of comfort among the board and staff to understand, you know, what this process might look like and how it could benefit Jackson County. If I did not know with certainty that there's a significant opportunity for you here, and you don't have to take the low bidder. We understand that. You take the best package for Jackson County, and you don't know what that is. A status quo mentality means there's no growth or improvement for Jackson County. That's what you cannot improve without change, Commissioner. You cannot. And not looking to educate yourself of what those opportunities might be is what is in the face of all your constituents, and that's why it's become an issue. Dr. Spires, you unfortunately have become the swing voter on this board for this issue by default. You know, it was a 2-2, very outspoken. I don't know if it's fair to characterize you that way, but it's what it kind of says.
I don't understand the characterization.
Well, you're the third vote, which swings in one way, and the one vote that changed from a previous meeting. So, and the reason I bring that out is I wanted to ask you, I have attended many meetings and I've watched you govern from your chair from a platform of we want consistency, fairness in your policy. I've seen you be the one of a 4-1 vote on those principles several times. Very commendable for your position. And this process seems to serve all of those elements. And so I've asked before, I'm concerned of what changed in your mind. What is the concern that you may have that leads you to want to not see a process like this come through? Same for Mr. Crutchfield and Commissioner Nonfro. It's the same issue, you know, Dr. Spires, but we know that there is a great opportunity here, and this RFP process, which has already been completed, prepared by your staff, it just needs to be released. We'll bring all of the information for you guys to evaluate and make decisions, not just on price, but on service and opportunity for improvement for Jackson County. You know, I'm making another passionate plea for the benefit of everyone, for you to reconsider that. And if we can use Robert's Rules of Order, stand in the way of that progress, or one of the three could make the motion and bring it back up, and we could move forward and seek that progress for Jackson County.
Well, I'll be very frank with you. Another concern that I have, I'm not an attorney, but I'm not so sure that we're following the legal requirements in terms of, and I'll let you take a look at Mr. Jordan also, in terms of the existing carrier. It's faced that there's a time limit that we must give notice if we're going to change. And we have not done that, to my knowledge, unless it was done before I came back here.
I have not been asked to review the contract on either the health insurance or our general liability insurance carrier, so I don't know the answer to that.
Well, I'll give you a copy of what I have there, okay? And it stipulates that we have not done due diligence legally to make a change. without legal repercussions.
If I may have a
I will
word
speak
here.
directly to that, Dr. Spires. We do this all the time. We're well within the timeframe. Still got plenty. Usually they give you a 30-day notice. You don't have a minimum premium situation. There's a whole lot of elements there, and I can explain that through the RFP process as well. But this is a very common timeframe.
Yeah, but I want you to know that my position as a county commissioner is to protect Jackson County. to the extent that I
Mine
can.
too.
Okay?
Absolutely.
All right.
And
Above
so
and
that would
beyond.
be a great, you know, let's vet that out if you need to, but just to give you some response to that from a person who's in the industry, who have worked on these transitions before.
If I may say a word here, and I believe Commissioner Donapro made the suggestion, it was just a possible or a suggestion to do RFPs to bring it up to a vote, but I believe if we go back to the record, and I'm sure they're here for us to find, we straighten out if I'm a word or two off, but that's what it was suggested for an RFP, and as far as the time limit, the young man standing at the podium there was afforded a thought before Mr. Dean that we weren't gonna vote. We weren't gonna quote or vote or bid the insurance. And I said, well, now my understanding is that we'd vote, that we would bid it. So when we got around and talked about it and came to a vote, and that's where I did, but after I interceded with that. So there's all kinds of thoughts and process and memories, but memories won't serve us well enough sometimes. So my suggestion for this is to research the records, go to at least to that. And if you got a time frame involved there, that'll address whether that's the right thing to do or not, maybe not.
The initial agenda item that passed was to go out to RFP for insurance services. And
It
this
was
is not,
suggested by Mr. Donapro.
this is not an issue for local vendor replacement or any of that. It is an evaluation process for you to consider. Yes, that gives me onto that, obviously, but it is good policy for the board. Where we got hung up was when it comes to the release of the actual RFP that had been prepared, and that did not pass. And that's what I was referring to earlier, Dr. Spires, with your, the vote. So, that is where it hung up. So there was still a motion on that was approved to go out to bid. We just don't have an RFP release to do it, but there's still plenty of time to do that. There's an RFP prepared, and I'm here to, again, provide you testimony that we are setting ready to go, and we have significant opportunity for improvement for you to consider for the benefit of Jackson County. So if there's any other questions, I'll be happy. If there's concerns that lead you to this delay or stall of releasing an RFP or engaging that, please ask. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have.
Any other statement by the board?
Let me say one more thing.
Yes, sir, go right ahead.
I am simply, I don't know this man, I don't know the other people. I've never had insurance with either one of them.
Yes, sir.
I'm sure they're good folks. My biggest thing is, if there's why wouldn't we look at maybe the possibility of saving money? Why wouldn't we look at that? Nobody says that we've got to vote for one or the other of them. Maybe there's 5 more people out there wants to submit from the RFP.
You know,
But why wouldn't we even consider that? I don't understand that.
I know that they bid on roads, mostly bid roads, you take the lower bidder. And I can remember you saying somewhere they would pay the road, why you wouldn't recommend them to pave any road, but they were low bidder. So if you take the low bidder.
I totally agree with you, but we don't even sit there to put the bids on.
Yeah. Well, sir, again, where he is saying, if he come in the low bidder, but we decide we want to go with what we did, and he gonna still be upset because he's a low bidder. we should have got him. You know, so.
I'm just saying, take a look at it.
And I know we approved here on the jail, we would take the lowest bidder for a doctor to go to the jail. And he hadn't been for 3 months there, so we go back and take the next bidder up. So we got the lowest bidder, but we didn't get no service.
But were we dealing with hundreds of thousands of dollars or thousands of dollars?
Well,
I know it doesn't matter. I know it doesn't matter, but it will, and I'm gonna tell you when it'll happen. The day they put those vote machines and all these billion people vote, we'll see. That's the only way to look at it.
That too, but I mean, you could save thousands of dollars, but you don't have the service, what have you done?
Well, there's enough laws and rules in place to stop that.
Those comments are directed back on, with the kind of perception that perhaps we're not able to meet those service needs. So I want to rebuttal that. And I don't, this is not the forum for me to give a response for qualifications. I'm advocating for a process that allows us to do that, fully informed, in the sunshine, for everybody to see. But I will tell you that the Boyd Agency has been in business for 50 years. They're a multi-generation, family-owned organization and agency. We have, compared to the incumbent, we have, as far as the number of clients to carry, I'm gonna assume we probably have the largest book. Our carrier has a 96% retention rate. There's a whole lot of things I can tell you to give you information to answer those concerns and address those concerns that should be considered during an RFP process. But to just use those as a platform to say, we're not going to have transparency, we're not going to go through an exercise to inform ourselves and be true, really look for opportunities to improve. It's disingenuous because you're not really, the point of the RFP process again is we've identified there's a basis for conversation. This is a good exercise for benefit of Jackson County. It's a hot topic item because it's pretty obvious to everybody else in the community. And that's what we're advocating. Evaluate it through that process, grade us out, compare us, look at different, check references. We do all those things during the RFP process. And then you make a decision and you may say, hey, they're a little higher, but we've enjoyed some consistency with them, and they're local and they're across the street, we're going to stay with them. But to give a no bid contract of this magnitude for all these years and no transparency is a problem. That's what we're pointing out. That's what I'm saying. Just let the process work and give us the forum and to possibly do something good for Jackson County. Thank you.
Anybody got any other comment? We thank you, Mr. Rich. Yes, sir.
I think we've said everything. No need in repeating ourselves.
Anybody else? On this side, you want to speak, Mr. Crutchfield, go ahead. You can.
Back up the podium.
Hold on just a minute, Al.
I remember you came last year.
Yes, sir.
And I don't know if this actually ever happened or not, but, you said, just let me give you a quote. Wouldn't anything about bids and give us a quote. Did we ever get the quote on the price? I mean, there's nothing wrong with you giving us a quote. You go out for bid, you're gonna try to be the cheapest. And I can understand that, you want to get the business, and nothing against you, nothing.
I'm sorry, I'm not following your.
Did you remember last year you came?
I'm not understanding what your distinction is between a bid and a quote.
Oh, right. But, like I say, if you come the lowest bidder, you're gonna want the bid.
I did do some underwriting to know what it should look like, to get somewhat of a premium indication, not fully underwritten, not the final number of any of that, but the difference was substantial enough that I knew that we needed to go through the whole process and get a firm bindable offer for you. And in that bindable offer, you consider premium differences, coverage differences, financial stability, client book of business, years of service, check references with those that you're serving. You do all those things in that process to say, hey, we've been missing out on an opportunity, or look, hey, listen, Jackson County, we've done this and we're in a good spot. We've gone through transparency and we've proven what we've been sitting up here saying is true and accurate, and we're good where we are. We're happy. There's no need for us to be entertaining and changing this going forward. That's the point of the process. You don't have to make a vote today that says, hey, we're ousting our current incumbent carrier or service point here locally. It puts everybody at ease when you say, hey, we've looked at it. We've done our homework for you. That's what we're up here making decisions to do for, you're running a company. You're running essentially a big organization, but you're doing it with public funds. You know, if you're a private issue, I can choose who I want because I work for my money, but you're spending taxpayer dollars. So there comes an additional layer of scrutiny that goes with that. So that's the point of it. But yes, can we produce a price? Yes, but if you're not in a forum to take that in and be transparent and do a full evaluation of the service component that goes with it, then that's just part of the puzzle. It's not just price. But there's this, I've heard this promotion that there's some teaser premium they offer to get the business, and then the next year premium rates are, jack back up to, and there's just no precedence for that claim. That doesn't happen. If it did happen, you quickly go back to where you were, and I never get even 3 minutes in front of you again, because that wouldn't be a good business practice. But there's not an example of that issue. If you have claims, does it affect you? Sure. But there's no teaser pricing or bait and switch kind of pricing model in this industry that happens. This is all done very publicly. There's a long list of clientele that you can go look back and get their experiences of. That's an effort to say, let's don't look, let's don't bid, let's don't consider other options, just stay where we're at. That's not the transparency that I think that your decision is. Mr. Crutchfield, I'm just.
Come forward.
Thank you.
Oh, yes, sir. Come forward out.
Chairman, ladies and gentlemen,
Thank you.
I'm Albert Milton with the Milton Insurance Agency. I've been in the insurance business for 50 years. The county is insured with a self-insured fund known as the Florida Association of Counties Trust. There are 3 other funds that qualify to insure Jackson County. The FACT program that you have is the only program that when you have vehicles go across the state line, the liability limit goes from 300,000 to $1 million to $3 million. I sat on board with 11 other agents, and we developed the Preferred Government Insurance Trust. I'm sure that's the fund that Mr. Rister is going to try to present to you. They can't do the $1 million, $3 million out of state. The only way a claim's paid in Florida over $200,000, you got to have a special claim bill in Tallahassee. You know that, Mr. Westbrook.
I've seen claims bills from trial lawyers from every dollar all the way to $1 million, several million.
That's right. But it takes an act of the legislature in Florida. Our Florida legislature.
Sometimes, unless the speaker or the president of the Senate or the governor by executive order does that. Go ahead.
But anyway, and I've told people at PGIT, we can represent that same market. I can represent all those markets. In fact, the only one could give you the coverage you have now. I've told Kurt Heyman, who's the state director of PGIT, that if he could prove to me that they can match the coverage that you have in Jackson County, I'd let them quote the account. They can't. It's not going to happen. So if you go out for a bid, you're not going to be able to bid apples for apples unless you require our competitor to have a limit of liability of $1 million to $3 million. So if a vehicle goes out of the state of Florida, you have the same coverage you have with FACT. And we do appreciate y'all's bidding.
We thank you. Are you a broker for the insurance company as well?
So
thank you.
You represent FACT.
Yes, sir. have for over 40 years. When Ernie Paget, whose name is on this room, put Jackson County with them. There are no insurance companies that will quote your account.
Yes, sir, go right ahead.
Why don't we just deal with fact instead of you to fact? Cause
They
remember
won't
the
do it.
fact.
They won't do it without an agent.
See, that's stuff I don't know.
And
That's
one
the
thing you
reason
don't
I'm
know,
asking for.
I've got a girl work for me named Tonda Porter. She spends most of her day, every day, working for Jackson County. Matter of fact, she's at home this week on vacation. Yesterday, she filed 3 at-fault accidents from her living room on her telephone for Jackson County.
Do we have that many?
We have a lot of
Oh.
claims.
You've got plenty of clients,
What's the law?
We have a lot of claims.
a lot of clients.
Again,
If-
that's
if-
stuff that I didn't know,
If Tonda didn't
and people
exist
don't know.
to help you and us, you need to have another employee to do what she does, maybe 2 employees. And FACT also provides a free legal services outfit called the Kisner Group that does a lot of counseling. They answer lawyer questions. In 2019, in 2024, they settled or answered 54 high-level legal problems for Jackson County, free of charge. A lot of value added with the Florida Association of Counties Trust. We do appreciate y'all's business.
And I will remind you of one thing, I'm very proud of every vote I ever took on tort reform, because it was aimed to help the insurance company and not the tribe. I yield my time. I'm sure you do here. Are we finished? We adjourn. I move, we ride. What you want, Bill?
I do have one.
Go ahead.
You're quick with that gavel, but I do have, we had a.
I ask anybody have anything else now.
We
Don't
had,
beat me over there with something not right.
we had an employee that passed away, Keith Curry, worked at recycling,
Yeah.
correct? And, we've done this in the past, and I think it would be appropriate. I would like to, offer an opportunity for the commissioners to, make a donation, to that family.
Okay.
And,
I'll make one person.
I'll make one personally as well, and I just wanted to, offer that opportunity to the rest of the commissioners as well. I think.
I want to,
Keith Curry, worked for recycling.
now, I knew it. Now, I want to say one other thing in closing that I forgot the whole day, I guess, because the 77 is about to get me. But what I want to do is pat somebody on the back for the effort that not only Mr. Schoaf helping us with getting $5 million off Florida Public Utilities list, but Jim Dean as well. There's several others, our school superintendent, William Long, our, administrator for the city of Mariana, and anybody that contributed anyway. My hat's off to them. We appreciate them. And I hope we can send all those people. I requested back then a letter be sent, but I don't think it got sent. So I request that we send a letter to every one of them saying thank you. And maybe we can pick out some of them. That was a valiant effort that hasn't ever happened before. And, but they also have a gentleman named Don Gates that filed a bill during that time to show transparency with the Public Service Commission. And when they had a CEO, they got to tell him how much he makes. And that is so wonderful. I just hope we're starting in the right direction. Because if not, we'll be in this county, we'll be carrying Ford lectures. We'll be burning firewood. I yield my time. You ready to go now? We go. Y'all carry on.